And hello everyone, welcome back to another HTML tutorial. So in this tutorial I'll basically be showing you how to work with code. So basically we have the basic code tag. So we just do that, we have a code tag. And this will allow us to insert some code that the user can later see. And this code can be like actual programming code or something in that sense. For example, let's say let x equals 10, and this is valid JavaScript code. And as you can see, it's let x equals 10. We can even maybe put a p tag here and say, look at this cool JS code. You see there, and it looks a little bit different. And let's go here and say, let y equals 5. And as you can see, there it says, let y equals 5. Take note, it does put it all on the same line. This is a feature that actually comes with code. If you want to break it up, you'll have to use either the pre tag or the br tag. And you can see right there, that will also break it up. Now, you'll notice that I said you can either use the br tag or the pre tag. Now, the pre tag is a little bit different than the br tag. It basically covers the entire block of code you want to pre. For example, if we do this, then that will do. Basically what it does, it pre-formats the code for us. So how the code is formatted within this pre-tag is kind of how it's going to be the whole time. Meaning this code is going to actually look exactly like this on the page. So if I save this, it's going to be tabbed in and everything. The change here is we don't have to use the br tag to split these two up. But what we do have to do now is this. And that will keep it like that. If you don't like this massive space here at the top, then you need to do this. And here at the bottom as well, you might want to do it too. And you also have to do this. Just like that. It looks pretty ugly, but that will also remove any extra spaces. And of course, you want to add another thing here, for example, console.log x plus y. Still 100% valid JavaScript code. As you can see here, it works. If you want to add an extra space there, it works. This is a great way to showcase code on your website because now you can just do the code normally without having to worry. If you actually have to indent something, for example, let's say you do this, which usually means you'd have to indent, and you can say, so you can see 100% it keeps the formatting, which is great. So that's the nice thing about using pre with code. So you can either use this or you can use the br tag and some very nasty workarounds in order to get spaces and tabs. So yeah, that's how to show basic code on the website. Of course, we're not finished yet. There's a lot of other things we can do. Sometimes you don't just necessarily want to show code. You might want to show a keyboard code. For example, a keyboard like input the user can do. For example, let's go here and say to save this file, press Ctrl plus S. And just to make it look a bit easier to read, we can split it up like that. And we can start this with a capital C. Okay, there we go. To save this file, press Ctrl plus S. The thing is, the user can't really recognize that this is a number. Neither can, that this is a keyboard input. Neither can the computer. Or while just looking at it, a normal person can read and they can figure it out. But a computer, they're going to read and they're not going to know anything. And a person as well, if they're just going to scroll quickly through your page, they're not going to know either. What you can do then is you can use the KBD, basically the keyboard tag. And you can just wrap it inside the keyboard tag, and now it will change looks as well. So that will indicate to the user, hey, this is probably some sort of key press you have to do. So if they're just going to scroll quickly through your web page, they can notice this. And then for a computer, since it's using the KBD tag, it will be like, oh, so there's a keyboard command or a keyboard shortcut or whatnot you have to use here. So if someone uses a computer to read for them, they can be like, keyboard shortcut, Control S. Instead of just saying press Control S, they can use press keyboard shortcut Control S or something like that. So we have this, right? So it just gives us basically this. Now what if we wanted to show the user the output they'll be getting as well? Well, that would be fairly simple. What we can do is we can just go here and say P, the program output, right? And of course you can do something like that to represent the terminal. You can do that, and here we can say 15 because 10 plus 5, that's 15. And now you'll see this. But to the user and yet again the computer, this will just be like, what's that supposed to mean? So what we can do is we can say samp for sample, for kind of like sample code in a sense. And then of course we can do that, or it would be actually better to go and I believe this would be GT instead of that. Anyhow, then we can do that, and now we'll see this. It's a little bit different formatting, but it also kind of shows that this is an output or something of that sense. Or you can also maybe go here and say, and here we can say sum, and that will be the actual output. So yeah, that's how to kind of show a sample of the output they'll be getting. Now, in programming, you have a thing called variables. This right here, that is a variable. A variable just basically contains something. I'm not going to explain too much about what a variable does, because if you don't really know what it does yet, you don't have to worry too much about it. Because, you're probably not going to use this feature a lot if you don't know what a variable is yet. But basically, this is a variable. That X, that's a variable. Now, you can also reference a variable or talk about a variable in code. For example, the variable. And here we can specify a variable. For example, X is 10. If you do this and save, you'll notice it says the variable X is 10. Yet again, same things before. The computer won't know a difference. We won't know a difference. But what we can do is we can say var. And the var one allows us to specify that this is a variable. Do that, and as you can see, there's X. This variable is also great for if you want to do something like mathish, because as you can see, it does make it look a little bit mathish there as well. So this could be like a variable in math. So we did basically showing how to do keyboard things, how to do code, pre, samples, and var. And that's the basic of working with code in a website. Usually if you work with code, this is the most you'll use. There's probably more things you can use, but this is probably the most common of them all. You won't really see other ones floating around very often. And yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all again in the next HTML tutorial.